What do you think is underneath this grass? Let's find out. Now we got junk, and there's coal ashes here, so I'm not expecting too much. What do I see here? I changed my mind. It's a tractor disc.
Live dig for aluminum.
I boogered up this spoon. What in the world would push the wick up or down? Let me know if you think that might have been a corset hook.
Let's see if I can get over a little closer to the house.
Even though it could have been a dime,
It could have been a quarter. That's the point. We got to keep looking.
that there was a human leg buried right here in the backyard. Steve Okino with History in the Hand Metal Detecting, and I'm inviting you to join me today on this little adventure. We've got permission to search this property, and it goes by the looks of the size of the trees and stuff around here, and the fact that it's on a crossroads out in the middle of the boondocks. I think that there probably are things dating back to the 1800s, although they've been living here right to the present, so there'll be a lot of modern stuff as well. In the meantime, though, let's get searching, see what we can find. All right. Iron. Down pretty far. That is an iron ring that my guess is that went on the tree of a horse-drawn rig, and it looks like it might have slid off the end. Possible, if that's what it is. If you know what the mystery steel ring is, please tell me in the comments. There's lots of things I need to learn about old stuff, but this has some history to it. It's cool to hold it in our hands. Oh, well, that's not very hard to find. Well, that's what was giving us the signal. What do we think it was? I don't believe that's super old. I would say, if I had to guess, that was the handle of a cap gun. Yep. I would bet the trigger was right down here. I would bet the trigger was right here, because there's some fancy scroll work. This would have been a toy gun back in its day. Bet a lot of hours cowboys and Indians got played with that. A little bit of history right there. I wish we could talk with the kids that played with that, but I'd say it's been a while. Boy, this ground is a little bit deceiving. I pick up these what looks like shallow signals, and then the items are deeper. Garbage. Well, garbage happens. On to the next. $69.70. Pretty deep. Is it too much to hope for? Still in the hole. To hope for an Indian head penny? I think it either could be, I'm going to say it's either an Indian head penny or a tarp grommet. Yep, I was right. Absolutely right. Tarp grommet. Look at that. You never knew I was there. Not quite sure what we've got here. Except one thing we know for sure. It's metal, right? Well, very common. This shed a little bit of light for people for a long time right here. What we have is part of an old kerosene lamp, and that's really common to find here on these 1800s foundations. Look at that. That was fancy. Now a lot of times there's actually a date of manufacture, or at least the patent, right on the end right there. Now this is a little past seeing, but that is a clean tone, and that is a very high number. 95, 96. I'm looking at my cheat sheet. Large scent. Oh, baby, could this be? Wow. That would be really great. I have not found... I'm about 40 years late to this metal detecting party. So really all I get is other people's leftovers, really. I still find good stuff. But this would be fabulous. Although I'm not liking this. Now we got junk, and there's coal ashes here, so I'm not expecting too much. What do I see here? I changed my mind. I totally changed my mind. We have got ourselves a timepiece, and don't ask me how this wound up in with ashes. That kind of looks like silver. That is super interesting. I've only found one other pocket watch, and it was modern. Oh, that's beautiful. Let me clean this up. See if I can get some more. It's at least silver coating. Oh, that's pretty. Ah, absolutely gorgeous. Ah, I'm glad you were here to see this. That is super. Neat. I'll clean this up and get a couple of nice pictures for it. See if I can, maybe the lid is in there. Very neat. I'm tickled pink. Well, there it is up close. What a pretty piece. It's too bad it wound up in this hole with coal ashes in it. And I think they really did a number on it. This would have been the face, and I think I don't know if it was glass or whether there's a whole piece missing, but that's just completely filled in with gunk. And it looks like it had a copper ring to hang it on a chain. So, what a cool piece. This is one of my most interesting finds. Very neat. If anybody knows who the maker is, if you recognize this design, please comment below and let me know, because I'm not going to be able to, I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything out based on what I can see here. So I need your help. Thanks. Well, here we go again. Another harmonica reed plate. Boy, they give a great signal. This would have been the treble end. So this was the high end. And the little reeds would go right in there. And there's probably about that much more of it. I'll add this to the collection. We have yet another Indian head penny signal. And we have yet another not Indian head penny. Oh well. You kind of have to dig a 92 when you're on the simplex, because that almost always means a quarter. It doesn't always absolutely have to be. And this time, it looks like it was only an old aluminum lid to a jar.
But it could have been a quarter. That's the point. We got to keep looking, because one of these days, a 91 or 92 is going to be a walking Liberty quarter.
And now it's time for Apple Musings.
Here's my Apple musing for today. I wonder if I'll find the leg. That's right. Talked with a lady down the road who said she grew up in this house and was told by a very old neighbor that there's a leg buried in the yard because the doctor came and sawed it off and they just buried it in the backyard. So I wonder if I'll find the leg. Probably not, unless they buried it with the saw. Oh well. On to the digging. Okay, got ourselves a tiny little fastener. And I wonder if that was a corset hook. I'm new at this. So that would be my educated guess. Let me know if you think that might have been a corset hook. Pretty cool. Little piece of history right in our hand. Well, I made a mistake. I got a little heavy-handed. And as a result, I boogered up this spoon. But that, boy, that is pretty. I could kick myself. Have you ever done this? Yeah. It's probably not silver. It's probably 14 karat gold. Yeah, that's what it is. What is that? Is that from, again, this was in ashes. Coal ashes. So I wonder if that's why it's discolored like that. If you know, let me know in the comments. I love finding this old stuff. Wonder what the story is. Wonder what the best meal that was ever eaten off this was. That's terrible. I should call myself Ape Arms Metal Detecting. Look at that. Got an interesting signal out here. And Looks like we've got a buckle. Let's, everything was so very ornate. And everything had fancy little stuff on it. Look at that. Almost looks like there's a little bit of silver gilt on that. But, oh, that is so pretty. And I can tell you one thing. That didn't get dropped here in 1970. Little history right in the hand. Beautiful. Still in the hole. We've moved away from the house a little bit, so we're not getting as many interfering nails, stuff like that. I think maybe the kids were playing out here. I have no idea what that used to be. You know what it kind of looks like? Kind of looks like a cannon wheel, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. It's heavy. It might be lead. If it is, then that would make it a little bit older. Yep, it is lead. Huh. So maybe that's older than I thought. Very interesting. Looks like it got played with just a little bit too hard. Kind of ran out of time, but only covered really a small space. We got everything laid out here. The brass bell, a couple of pieces of horse tack. I'm almost positive this was off the tree of probably a workhorse. Well, look, that was not an Indian head penny, but it was the same signal. An aluminum push thing. Here's the little lid, the little aluminum lid. Farm toy, lamp pieces. Here's the mystery fastening item. If you know for sure, I think it might be from a corset, but I don't know for sure. And there's a nice little buckle. Here's the lead piece of the wheel, a harmonica reed plate. I did shine these up, but I couldn't see a date on these at all. So those were more lamp parts. Found the cap gun handle, unidentified piece of brass, or actually that's copper, a pretty spoon, and the silver plated watch. So that was a very interesting hunt. Hey, thanks for coming along today with me. I hope you enjoyed what we found together. Didn't cover a huge amount of ground, but we did find some interesting stuff, and we got to hold some history in our hand. And the reason we did is because we were looking. And remember, if you aren't looking for it, you're not going to find it. See you next time on History in the Hand.